For the stars I shoot pimpin', no bull, you best check the scope.
It's been a while since I covered the kids cartoons, so I thought it was time to do that video on adult cartoon theatrical movies. Theatrical means released in theaters, by the way, so don't send me no Stewie Griffin The Untold Story and act like I'm supposed to do something with that. You better get on.
It's not a movie at all, Brian. Just 3 episodes back to back. This thing is an insult.
That's 5 movies based on 5 adult animated series released in 5 theaters. Well, you know, more than 5 theaters, but you get it. These are adult cartoon theatrical movies. Or cartoon theatrical movies, adults only if nasty. And most of you niggas are, I can smell it.
Hey, where can I donate to your indie cartoon?
Oh, that's so nice of you. Hold on, let me just go get the link.
Psych!
Alright, you got me. Alright, so real quick, today's video is actually brought to you by Opera GX. I don't know about you, but I am just so tired of my web browser being so damn boring. Well, no need to be tired any longer because Opera GX got a facelift and the shit is gas. Just look at this compared to the old one. They snap! Get that shit out of here! Relentless amounts of design updates, mods, and personalization options. You will have the coolest browser on the block. Even the little splash screen they give you when you open it up is fire. Browse through new features like the new and improved GX Corner that serves as a gaming hub inside your browser so that you can be caught up on everything from deals to news. Opera GX and GX mods already gave you the most customization out there in any browser. And now they bringing that to a whole new level with new and improved features and even deeper customization. The amount of mods you can look at, download, and play with is so extensive. In the customization settings, whether they be background music, wallpapers, whatever, the possibilities are endless. So much variety. These shits even like make sounds when you type, which might not be used to y'all, but it is to me. It's not just the keyboard either. This sounds for opening and closing apps, limiters, clicking, hovering over something. You can even choose your own background music. It's the most stimulating thing ever. They even got a Family Guy one. Just for me, I can't believe it. I'm home. And with your custom GX icon, you can personalize this thing however, whenever. Opera GX is also equipped with an import tool that allows you to quickly import all of your settings from your personal browser to Opera GX, like browsing history, bookmarks, cookies, passwords, whatever. It's also compatible with every Google Chrome extension, so there's no excuse. You can literally just pack it up and start a brand new life whenever you're ready. Let's surf the web, homie. Install the new and improved Opera GX today using the link in the description and the pinned comment and give the best browser for gaming enthusiasts a try. And thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video.
On July 27th, the world as we know it will be exactly the same, except for Springfield, which is totally... What? Tell us! Doomed. 20th Century Fox presents...
Time to save my family!
The end-all, be-all of family comedies. The Simpsons movie, rated PG-13.
Did I save the day?
Actually, you doomed us all.
July 27th, only in theater.
How do you possibly make a movie based on arguably the most popular American animated series right before the start of its 19th season? Well, I'm not sure, but a bunch of old white guys gave it a shot in 2007 with the Simpsons movie. Oops. Green Day fucking dies while drowning in a polluted lake in Springfield, and Abe gets a vision in church.
Feel the spirit. Let it out!
What's good in your car?
Because of Lisa's activism, the town tries to get ahead of the lake issue, a citywide pledge to not do any more polluting to that water.
I hereby declare a state of emergency. Code Black.
Black? Huh. It's the worst color there is. No offense there, Carl.
I get it all the time.
Happy Black History Month, y'all. But Homer was too selfish to really get the gravity of the situation. He dumps a bunch of pig shit, don't ask, into the water. He sees death. The pollution in the lake gets so bad because of it that the United States government conceals the entire town into a dome with a plan to eventually blow them up. And because of this, Homer makes it to the point where every single soul in Springfield once his head, including his damn daddy.
You know, the word apology is tossed around a lot these days. But when it comes from in here...
The Simpsons have to leave Springfield. They're on the run, they have no one but each other. They're the closest they've ever been, while at the same time falling apart. Because by that third act, Homer has fucking nobody, and it's all his fault. Ned Flanders, the family's neighbor, has shown significantly more compassion and care for Bart's well-being throughout this whole movie than Homer arguably has ever done in one sitting. When Bart's hanging off the roof, it's Ned who reminds Homer that his son could get hurt.
Homer, I don't mean to be a nervous pervert or anything, but if he falls, couldn't that make your boy a paraplegerino?
My grandma ain't like this joke. When he's butt-ass outside Krusty Burger, it's him who gives Bart an extra pair of pants so he can hide his wiener. Which only happens because Homer dared him to skateboard the Krusty Burger ass naked for some reason, father the damn year and shit.
How naked?
Fourth base.
The girls might see my doodle.
I was positive this little skateboard scene was gonna be the last Simpsons scene I've ever watched. When they showed the cut in the bushes for the gag with Bart's dick in the theater, my mother audibly said, and I quote, "What kind of cartoon is this?" Which, in hindsight, is a very justified reaction. That's actually the kind of shit I'd say in these videos. You can see where I get it from.
Whoa there, buddy!
He takes him fishing, gives him that good ass looking cocoa.
Oh my god.
Looking back, this little trauma response here from Bart is fucking nuts.
Oh no, my good pole!
Huh? You're not strangling me.
This poor child, what the fuck? I'm finna call CPS. They do a really good job really picking apart how all of this stuff makes Bart feel and why, after all this time, you can see why he'd want a kinder soul like Ned as a father.
Haddly doodly. Haddly doodly. Haddly doodly.
You little... You strangle you...
Diddly diddly.
Bart, stop it! Leave this to me.
Bart, stop it, as if this nigga is not getting choked out by his daddy, is fucking insane. And I've always really liked how this part of the plot wrapped up. We get to watch Homer walk himself into understanding what like generational trauma is. And he didn't even need an Instagram post or a TikTok where someone with a shitty green screen effect is pointing the text over sad audio. Good for him. God, am I getting old? Did y'all hear how bitter that sounded?
I wasn't much of a father. Maybe it starts with the way my dad raised me. Yes, it's clear to me. It's just been one long unbroken cycle of...
Somebody throw the goddamn bomb!
Homer's mindset is really selfish throughout this entire movie in general. He ignores the fact that he very publicly embarrassed his son because he saw a pig wearing a hat. He ignores every single warning Marge gives him about his actions. The pig shit, really any pork-related activity, I guess. And when she presses him about it, he doesn't even have a real answer for why he does what he does.
I need to know what was going through your mind when you didn't listen to me and dumped that silo in the lake.
Ooh, I would have waved the gun in this nigga face so fast.
A lot of you niggas, they let you niggas, a lot of you niggas, they let you niggas go.
Lisa is like OG tree hugger. She fought for the whole first act trying to save the damn lake, and her father fucks it up so bad that they literally have to flee their home.
Monster! You monster!
Did you see the news?
Homer spends 30 minutes showing us and his family that he legitimately only cares about himself, even if he doesn't mean to. By Act 2, he has angered every single member of this family that can speak, and the only one that gives him grace and space to prove himself is his wife. His kids are fucking over it. But Marge sticks beside him because she still knows him to figure these things out in the end. She still knows him to care about what's most important. So when they hear on the news that they finna blow up Springfield, everyone they know and has ever loved will be killed, and he just doesn't care at all. The last lingering thread is cut, and Marge realizes that she does not recognize him anymore. I did a video on this part a few years ago, but because of his lack of compassion and just general assholishness, Marge leaves Homer in what I think is a top 10 scene in the entire Simpsons franchise.
So I'm leaving with the kids to help Springfield. And we're never coming back. And to prove to myself that this is the end, I taped this over our wedding video. Goodbye, homie.
First, let's get one thing straight. I'm not crying. I'm just sweating through my eyes.
And with nobody there for him but himself and his big-breasted lady who was breathing in his mouth. Okay, bro, I see you. Me next. Homer finally comes to the realization that he needs to protect everybody close to him.
Because other people are just as important as me. Without them, I'm nothing. In order to save myself, I have to save Springfield! That's it! Isn't it?
In my adult years, I've really grown to appreciate Albert Brooks as not only an actor, but a director, a writer. Have y'all ever seen some of his movies? Real life, modern romance. They're some of the most interesting and funny movies I've ever seen in my whole life. As a kid, I knew him because of how good he always was on The Simpsons. He was the show's first guest star for a reason. I love Hank Scorpio as much as the next guy, but to me, his best performance is Jock in season 1 by a country mile.
What's brunch?
You'd love it. It's not quite breakfast. It's not quite lunch, but it comes with a slice of cantaloupe at the end. You don't get completely what you would at breakfast, but you get a good meal.
Bringing back your first guest star for the movie is a really cute way to celebrate the show, but also a cheat code because he is so funny as Russ Cargill, the government guy.
I want 10,000 tough guys, and I want 10,000 soft guys to make the tough guys look tougher. And here's how I want them arranged. Tough, tough, soft, tough, soft, soft, tough, tough, soft, soft, tough, soft.
There's this one scene where these whimsical little Disney-like animals help Homer and Marge get ready for bed, and they just have like hella sex in front of them, which is a very funny parody considering that this is a Disney movie now. What a damn tangled web we weave.
I'm the mascot of an evil corporation.
They start fucking, it was gross.
But the whole reason a scene like that works is because of how great the animation is in this thing. Getting David Silverman to direct this was a major key. He's a big reason why the show looks the way that it does, and he's always great for making sure these characters look alive. Even in things that I don't like, he really has a way to keep the show looking visually interesting. The timing in this has a really snappy Looney Tunes thing going on, even on something quick and small like Lisa's little reaction here. Stuff like that is all throughout this movie. Look at Marge ducking down here. I always thought this was great. She ducks down, remembers how tall her hair is, and quickly pulls it down too. They smoked this whole movie. It looks unbelievable. That Hans Zimmer score too, it really makes this movie feel massive. It's probably the only movie in this video that still kind of makes you feel like you're in a movie theater no matter where you watch it. One thing I always thought was really cool about most of the crowd shots in this is how often they're filled with characters that you'd actually know depending on how many episodes of the show you've seen. Normal casual fans will see this shot and instantly recognize characters like Otto or Hibbert, but a sick fuck like me will wonder why the guy from Marge Be Not Proud is holding a banana at a Green Day concert. This practice though kind of implies things about some of the characters that I'm not sure they meant. Any reason why Herman and Apu's dad are just staring at Bart's dick?
Nelson, honey, where have you been? Ha ha! Ha ha! Ha ha!
This shot with the entire cast burning torches moving slowly towards the Simpsons family house is fucking incredible. And again, all characters you'd recognize depending on how big of a fan you are.
Guys, look, those idiots don't even know where we live.
There's a lot of cool stuff they do with the camera in this, which definitely makes sense. The show absolutely used to experiment with stuff like that from time to time, but it's on full display here. I don't think these characters have ever been more three-dimensional, including when they're literally in 3D. This little moment here where Milhouse jerks his arm up after Nelson runs up behind him. I've definitely drawn that exact take before. Russ Cargill throwing his binoculars and them ricocheting back and hitting him in the face. I did that too at the top of my Goofy movie video. Even something as small as how their eyes like pop open when they wake up. I learned so much from watching this thing as a kid. I have no idea what my work would look like without it. Maybe it'd actually be good. I will always love the Simpsons movie. You niggas could kiss my ass. Whoa. I'm not sure who that was directed to. I probably could have done a whole longer video on just this movie alone, and maybe I'll regret that when I've exhausted this kind of video and run out of ideas, which will, without a doubt, happen sometime in the near future because I know myself. But I think the fact that there's so much to say about it is what makes it so damn rewatchable after 15 years. I love this thing too much. There's no way I won't be bringing it up sometime in the near future. A top 20 movie for me. And that's saying a lot. I'll be watching like Goodfellas and shit.
Ready? Woohoo!
It looks like Maggie has something to say.
Oh my God, her first word.
Sequel?
Hurry up, nigga. You ain't got much time. Fuck you waiting for? Marge getting old as hell.
Beef up your Memorial Day.
Big things are coming for Summer Tina.
With the Belchers in theaters. The Bob's Burgers movie, rated PG-13.
If you know anything about me, you knew this one was coming. Or if you checked the chapters on YouTube or saw the thumbnail, 2022's The Bob's Burgers movie. A movie that I loved so much that I ran home and dumped all my money into hopelessly producing my own indie animation.
Anyway, please donate to my pilot.
I know I did a short video on this movie back when it first came out. Y'all might not know I did it, but I do. But fuck it. Buckle up, boys, because we doing it again. Get excited.
Okay, Bob, grab your meat.
Please don't shout that at me.
Right, grab your meat.
Bob and Linda are in danger of being late with their loan payment right when the street right in front of their restaurant caves in and shoots out water.
Oh my God.
Louise goes into the hole and accidentally discovers the dead body of Carney Cotton Candy Dan, so now it's also a crime scene. Yeah, no, having kids seems great. Really, can't wait. I saw this movie maybe 3 or 4 times in the theater when it was out, and the funniest part of every screening, without a doubt, was hearing the audience react to those dead man's teeth falling into Louise's mouth. This is just one of those evergreen emotions that everyone understands, like finding one more French fry before throwing a Wendy's bag out.
You go into a hole.
Accidentally fall into a hole.
Gracefully tumble in while screaming. Go into a hole. You get to keep whatever lands in your mouth. That's a rule.
That's true under the bleachers, too.
Hey! So now it's a murder mystery with the kids trying to find out who killed Cotton Candy Dan to not only save their family's restaurant, but to free their landlord who got bagged for the murder. This is one of the 2 musicals in this video, and while the South Park movie is pretty much impossible to beat in that regard, the songs in this thing are relentlessly memorable. These things have been in and out of my head for the past few years. Nigga, I'll throw one Sunny Side Up in the middle of a snowstorm just to feel something, anything. There's a couple characters that I didn't realize aren't around in this thing until much later. Like, it wasn't until I watched one of the DVD extras that I realized that Gail isn't in this. There was supposed to be a whole thing at Cotton Candy Dan's funeral where they found out that she used to date him, but I think they just kind of took it out to make the movie run smoother structurally. Jimmy Pesto, he's in a couple shots, but very noticeably does not speak because his voice actor got bagged for storming the Capitol on January 6th. I put a joke here, but I assure you, nothing is funnier than our reality. This shit is the joke. I think I definitely would have loved to see these characters and other ones, but they give us enough recurring characters so the movie doesn't feel like it neglects its expanded world. Honestly, the movie's biggest crime is probably that they used this fake ass Bill Hader to play Mickey. Let me guess, he was too busy and couldn't pull up to read a few lines. Yeah, right, what the hell else he was doing? Barry, ain't that shit about Obama?
See, they're not cops. Cops don't dance around like that. They dance like this.
As I'm sure you could probably tell by now from all the B-roll, this is a very pretty movie. Probably the prettiest looking in this whole video, which is saying a lot and nothing at all at the same time. If the character acting isn't doing something really flowy and expressive, there's some interesting blocking, a really gorgeous looking background, really specific lighting, or just some great stuff with the camera, really moving around to give you that movie scale. If you really pay attention to the kind of stuff they're doing here, they definitely beat the just add shading allegations by a country mile. One of my favorite pieces of character animation in this whole thing is a shot where the family is celebrating making it out of the crime hole.
Crime hole.
Jane.
All these drawings are really loose. They really just are 2D Muppets, huh?
Oh, my sweet babies.
So glad we're not dead.
The environments and lighting are really on 10 in the scene where the kids go to investigate Felix's treehouse. I'm still having a hard time figuring out how they got some of these colors. I honestly don't know why I'm going through all this trouble to show y'all all this animation. Most people watch these shits without even looking at the screen. I could just slam a JPEG up of a fucking purple dildo and y'all wouldn't even know. Ah, you nasty fuck, did you look? Story-wise, I always thought what they did here was really interesting. The plot feels big enough and heavy enough to justify the longer runtime, but also isn't too much that it breaks the show's world. Niggas don't get murdered every day in Bob's Burgers, but it's still believable. because they live in Jersey. Comparatively, if you would have told me back in 1990 after the first Simpsons season that show's movie was going to be about the town blowing up and Homer climbing on top of a dome with his bare hands to save it, I wouldn't have said anything because I wasn't even in my dad's nuts yet, but you get my point. The Bob's Burgers movie is big and pushes the series forward, but also could have had the exact same plot if it came out after season 2, and nobody would act like they're jumping the shark. It's really clever how they did this. They do a great job setting everything up with Bob and Linda, reestablishing that status quo that Bob leans on her for support and positivity, even in moments where he doesn't realize that he's doing it. But because of the kind of person Linda is, she has no problem doing this because of how effortless this kind of mindset is for her. It's something that's all over the cartoon, and they give you enough time to pick up on it here. And it's really nice to see Bob get a moment where he not only does for Linda what she's done for him all of these years, but he also realizes how much of a burden that must be for her.
You never give up. I give up. And then you say, don't give up. And I say, okay. And then we do that over and over. And now that I'm saying it out loud, that can't be fun. Do you want a divorce before we die? I don't deserve you.
Nah, I can stick it out.
And at the end, Bob stumbles to give Gene a pep talk like Linda would, closing out his arc by showing him taking the next steps to try to be more optimistic.
Well, it's gonna make other people happy too. So maybe you should be optimistic about it.
Mom says that.
Yeah.
So you're stealing.
I say it now too.
I think this movie does a great job illustrating and showcasing all the kids' insecurities with their dream sequences in the first act. At the top of the movie with Sunny Side of Summer, we get to understand that Tina wants Jimmy Jr. to be her boyfriend over the summer. That Gene can't wait to show everyone his new annoying instrument because he's positive everyone will love it. And that Louise is feeling a little subconscious about her ears. And with these dream sequences, they're kind of pushing the kids in a direction to really reconsider their goals and feelings. What if Jimmy Jr. isn't summer boyfriend material and Tina wastes her summer? What if everybody hates this dumbass instrument Gene made?
That shit is fucking trash, dog. Get the fuck off the airwaves.
What?
What if... Hey, what's the little girl name? You said Chloe? Oh, okay, okay. What if what Chloe said is true and Louise really is a baby that depends on her rabbit ears for some kind of artificial confidence? Louise's bunny ears have always been around throughout the entire show, obviously, since they're a critical part of her character design. She has like a double D from Ed, Edd n Eddy or number 5 from Kids Next Door thing going on, where she just rarely takes it off and nobody's ever seen her without it, which I was always jealous of. I always wanted to be the kid known for never taking off his hat, but all the teachers in school used to make me take off my Yankee fitted. Deadass B, facts, word is born.
Because it was the first day of preschool, and I guess I was scared or something, and my mom made them, and they gave them to me so I would be brave.
So what I'm hearing is your head has not grown since preschool.
Louise's account of how she remembers getting her ears does nothing but amplify her insecurities about being small and not brave. To her, they're a symbol of that, and since she can't really break free from them, it scares her that this might be a permanent piece of her personality. We spend the whole movie watching her ignore and navigate this fear until her parents completely recontextualize the story in this really beautiful scene. Louise was gifted her ears after her first day of school because she was so brave. And in the first time we've ever seen Bob's mom, we learn that it's really in memory of her and this little pink hat that she used to wear all the time. We not only learn something really sweet about Bob, but Louise learns that she's always been who she's been trying to be throughout this whole movie, and she does it effortlessly.
You remind me of my mom, Louise. And with the hat, it's kind of like you two have met. I keep forgetting that you never did.
Hey, Buford, are you sweating out of your eyes?
No, I'm just crying!
In my original video, I said something about Gene's arc not feeling as complete as everyone else's in this movie. So I might as well go into detail about that since I don't have to worry about spoilers this time. Spoiler alert for everything in this video, by the way, in case you ain't know.
Ooh, sorry.
Louise's arc is that driving force is one of the main reasons why she goes so hard to solve Cotton Candy Dan's murder. And with Tina's arc, it might not be as present in terms of pushing the plot forward, but we see that little barrette necklace that she was gonna give Jimmy Jr. as she carries it around with her the whole movie. We see fantasy Jimmy Jr. throughout the whole movie, reminding us of what she's going through.
You're thinking about me. You're thinking about this. Boom, 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 boom.
Holy crap.
But comparatively, everything around Gene's arc just kind of feels like throwaway dialogue?
See you soon, Shelly. We're gonna rock so hard. A lot of confidence here, despite what some robots may say.
What?
Nothing.
That shit is fucking trash, dog.
They do such a clear job with everyone else. Louise and Tina both have clear visual aids illustrating how they feel and what they're going through. But Gene has none of that. He doesn't even have his little napkin instrument thing with him for most of the movie. So how could they have fixed it? I don't know, nigga, that ain't my job. I really love that Louise uses the last moments of the story to give Bosco that win of having him finally beat the homicide guys. Throughout the whole movie, Sergeant Bosco gets so much shit from the homicide division of the police department.
Hey, get out of here! Get out of here! Go!
All right, kids.
Nigga soft. It's played for laughs, definitely. The kids even use this insecurity to get information out of him in the second act, but that's really it. It's really small, just a background thing that I feel like most cartoons would ignore or not directly give closure to, but they used it to tie like a really neat bow on top of the story. That's the kind of touch that's really hard to explain, but it's like baked into the DNA of this cartoon. Every episode and story is just filled with these tiny little wins for every character, no matter how small their role is in the story.
Hi there. First on the scene, no biggie. I beat you. And you! I beat you too!
The Bob's Burgers movie is just another one of those where it's just like, what do you even want me to say, bruh? Damn. I definitely wouldn't be where I am creatively if this thing didn't come out and rearrange my perspective on so much. But it's not every day that you go into a movie theater and come out of it determined to make something that makes somebody else feel exactly how you felt. And how could you possibly beat that?
Anyway, please donate to my pilot.
What would you do if the thing you loved most was suddenly taken away?
Oh, the TV! It's gone!
We must find our TV.
On a search for their prized possession. A top secret weapon has fallen into their hands.
Cool.
Now,
I am Cornelio!
everyone wants them.
Hey, baby.
You got 2 seconds.
Is that gonna be enough time?
Beavis and Butthead to America.
He's gonna roll.
Oh, that's nice.
Rated PG-13.
Hey, Daria in this shit? Aw, look, y'all got y'all video after all. Beavis and Butthead was a very popular 90s MTV cartoon, a modestly successful 2000s cartoon, and a 2020s cartoon that I swear I always forget is around. It's about 2 teenage assholes that basically just stand around doing this. I must confess, Beavis and Butthead is the show that I know the least about and have seen the least of out of everything, not only in this video, but all the videos in this little cartoon collection series, which is what I've been calling these. I know a lot of characters, seen a few short episodes, definitely get the humor and find it funny, but I never really applied myself to actually fully engage with it.
This sucks more than anything that has ever sucked before.
Nice. Need that. Beavis and Butthead Do America from 1996, 1 year before I popped out the pussy. I love that this movie starts out just kind of like an average episode, or at least my understanding of one. Like I said, I've only seen like 5 of them shit. A simple situation, Beavis and Butthead wake up to find that their TV was stolen and bumble around trying to find a new one so they could watch some Tumerific Tariq. It's honestly just a guess, I don't know. This is what my audience looks like to me.
Damn it! I can't sleep without a TV!
Dumbass.
They run into a bunch of side characters, everybody that you'd want to see as a fan of this show and these characters.
You two look kind of familiar. Ain't you them kids that have been whacking off in my tool shed?
Huh? Is that what Beavis and Butthead is about? What the fuck? And then thing after thing after thing happens, so you look up and these niggas have an entire action movie happening around them. Even down to Bruce Willis playing one of the characters. These niggas go from teenagers who just got robbed to the most dangerous men in America before the damn 30-minute mark. I swear, this thing is a circus. Watching the narrative unfold, the constant misunderstandings and miscommunications, that's what really makes this movie a really fun time.
I'm mostly gonna be doing the slots.
Yeah, I'm hoping to do some sluts too. Yeah.
They bumble around town for a little bit looking for a TV, but end up at a motel where a guy confuses them for two other guys that he's been trying to hire to fly out to Vegas and shoot his wife. But he says it in like the 90s way, right? He's like, oh, do my wife or whatever. So like, they think he means sex.
Actually, we just want to watch TV.
Shut up, beavis. Yeah, we'll do your wife.
No, I want to watch TV.
It'd be like that. Put Family Guy on. They get to Vegas, find Shorty completely by accident. She waves the gun in their fucking face, and they're still oblivious to what's going on.
10 grand? Oh, that cheap ass. I'll double it. I'll pay you 20 if you go back there and do him.
You want us to do a guy?
So then she puts them on a bus to Washington with some kind of disease in Beavis's pocket that could just blow if it's hit the right way. Like me. And then it's like, I don't know, man. A bunch of shit happens after that. There's like this cool Rob Zombie sequence in the desert. These niggas like meet their fathers, I guess.
You scored with 2 chicks?
Yeah, they were sluts. Shut up, dumbass.
Let me be the first to tell you, every punch in this movie is loud as fuck. These niggas open up the Hoover Dam.
Look, R.I.P. R.I.P. Yeah.
They cause 2 major pileups on the highway. Beavis running around with the damn COVID-19 seasoning pack in his back pocket, and these boys make it out of every situation with little to no scratches and no knowledge of the situation that they're in. And when some situations are just too straightforward for them to be oblivious, how little they care about what's going on is just as hilarious.
Whoa, this rules. Can I have a gun too?
Any last words before I kill you?
I have a couple. Butt cheeks.
Yeah. And boobs. Yeah. I just want to say that again.
This FBI dude, he has like the sickest running gag throughout this whole movie. He will give a nigga a cavity search in a minute. He giving them shits out like Oprah.
I want that camper torn apart. Full cavity searches all around. National security is a responsibility of every American. Bork.
Cavity search.
Deep and hard.
Not on him, Chief.
Agent Hurley, I want you to give this scumbag a cavity search. I'm talking roto-rooter. Don't stop till you reach the back of his teeth.
The back of his teeth? What the fuck? I don't know, man. I might not have grown up with this show or these characters, but this is my type of humor. These 2 little dickheads just stand there and mumble for an hour and a half, and it legitimately cracks my shit up.
That was cool.
No, it wasn't.
Oh yeah.
They have no self-awareness, no grasp of how people feel about them, no respect.
Hey, Beavis, we're on a bus with chicks. Hey, baby.
I did not walk away from this movie feeling like I know and understand new things about these characters, but like, I mean, whatever. I laughed a bunch, so who cares?
Boy, it sure is hard to score.
True.
Man, score is like my favorite piece of 90s slang. Why don't y'all just bring stuff like that back instead of another one of them damn cartoons? This is the only movie in this video to be cell animated, which is a shame, but it really makes this thing feel like one of a kind. It doesn't really do anything to enhance the animation all too much. It's not like Simpsons or Bob's. The characters aren't really moving more fluently than usual or anything like that. A lot of it is just like the show. But at the same time, the style is so specific that it still genuinely feels like a movie. All the characters still do the jitter when they speak. There's a lot of standing around, but the movie never really feels like it's slowing down or it's held back by its animation. They do a lot of interesting stuff still though. This part at the top with them as giants is cool. That little CG shot where they're dancing in Vegas is iconic. I ain't do no editing on this video yet, but I already know I'm finna abuse that in the B-roll. Yeah, I don't know, I'm sorry this section isn't longer, but I think the most I can say about Beavis and Butthead Do America is that it's really, really funny, and there's only so many ways you can say that without repeating yourself. It doesn't try to explore the characters in new ways. It doesn't try to tell a story where you're supposed to be attached or invested in these 2 emotionally, and honestly, this wouldn't work nearly as much if they tried to do any of that kind of stuff here. This one always stood out when I looked at the landscape of TV cartoon to theater jumps. It's such a simple approach that ends up working relentlessly well. It's the exact kind of movie that makes me want to go back to the original cartoon and fill in all the gaps I missed. I won't though. I got like 3 more movies to watch after this. Let's just let's act like I did. Whatever your favorite episode is, imagine I watched that shit like 5 times.
I just need to stop by his tool shed for a couple minutes. You know what I'm saying? Can we watch some TV first?
You can't be in 2 places at once. I've tried it before. It really works.
From the first assistant director of the 2nd unit of Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, and the production assistant of the video, Know Your Fryer, comes the adventure of a lifetime. An animated epic featuring 3 all-new backgrounds and 5 characters.
Did you see that chicken guy running around?
And this chicken.
That guy was weird.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force: movie film for theaters.
Imagine a nigga trying to squeeze some analysis out of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Well, you don't gotta imagine it any longer because here it fucking comes.
Open your mouth, baby. Here it comes.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force: movie film for theaters. When I told my grandma the title of this movie back then, she said, ew. 2nd movie in this video to take place in New Jersey. That's right, we got 2 on the board. Fuck your mother.
I'm just joking. I wasn't raised that way. I'm sure she's nice.
If you don't know what Aqua Teen Hunger Force is, I don't really know if I can help you, dude. Not in a I never watched it way. I used to watch this shit all the time, but like, how do you even explain it, son? A box of fries, a wad of meat, and a milkshake just hang out in South Jersey and shit happens. It costed like $2 to make, and it was really popular, ran for over 10 years, and they got a movie in 2007 that they spent $3 on.
Very cool.
Okay. So like, I think Shake wants to fix this exercise machine that he stole from Carl, and when Frylock puts it together, it's like missing a motherboard piece. So they go out to look for it, but like these aliens and this robot go looking too because the exercise machine isn't really an exercise machine. It's like a robot, and it like has like Carl now, and it'll destroy the town or something. I have no fucking idea. I swear I just watched this shit like 10 minutes ago. I just knew that I was gonna be lost watching this thing, and it just did not disappoint. I still have some context, but I also feel like I don't have enough. I haven't seen this cartoon in maybe 5 years. My brain probably replaced all of that knowledge with Family Guy episode titles or something.
Dude, I totally Von.
Sorry.
Dude, in the notes that I took for this very clip that I just played, I literally wrote robot starts humping orange thing. Like, I know who these characters are, I remember episodes with them in it, but this really is one of those where if you ain't watched Aqua Teen last week, good fucking luck, because it's just gonna feel like one giant inside joke that was told when you left the room to go take a piss.
And it didn't take us long to freak out all of Africa.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, whoa, wait, no, we're here to help you. Come on, don't run.
Come on, son, did y'all hear the clicking? I fucking hate it here, man. Fuck. There's a gag about half an hour into the movie. Frylock is looking at an old picture of Dr. Weird, and Shake smacks it out of his hand. And they keep talking, but a few seconds later, there's a little explosion in the corner of the screen. Now, I've seen enough and remember enough Aqua Teen to know that this is a normal running thing that happens in that show. Things falling to the ground and immediately exploding right after. And I think there being a slight delay here is the joke. And that's funny to me as somebody who has this context, but I could see it just being like a random explosion to someone who doesn't. And that's what most of this movie feels like. They don't reestablish anything. They don't reintroduce this world in any way. This thing plays like you just got home, high as hell with Taco Bell in your hand and turned Adult Swim on. Which is pretty much what Aqua Teen is. Not sure if that's what movies are supposed to be, but that's what Aqua Teen is. And sure, whatever. You can dock all the points that you want because it isn't structured like a movie is supposed to be. But hey, just slow your roll there, Siskel and Ebert. It ain't that deep. Aqua Teen is barely structured like an actual television show. What makes you think that this would be so different? You ain't getting no pussy for complaining that Master Shake doesn't have a complete character arc. I might, but you not. Just like the cartoon, you never really feel like these characters are in any actual danger or something really bad is gonna happen to them. These are the most expandable characters I've ever seen in all my days. Carl catches on fire like 10 minutes in, then his body is just like ripped off in the third act, and we just never fucking see this nigga again.
Oh, Carl! Hey, thank God. Unchain me. Where'd you get that lollipop?
Shake just shoots the shit out Meatwad.
Look, R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah.
One of the runners in this movie that's always funny is Meatwad trying to figure out how to get women. It goes absolutely nowhere, but every time it comes up, it's hilarious.
You think that women are attracted to me?
No! Fuck! Hey, so like, they do this random gag around the end of the second act about Frylock being a woman, like it just kind of slips out.
It's just as I suspected. I'm female. It's female.
You're what?
I mean, the Insano Flex is a female.
So please forgive me for not taking something in this stupid ass cartoon seriously, but I genuinely thought that this was just some random line. But then they find out. Okay, let me back up. They spent like half the movie believing that Dr. Weird, that guy from the top of every episode of the cartoon, was actually their daddy. But then around the end, they find out that Frylock is his daddy and suppressed the memory because he was like a shitty father. Look, that's not why I explained all this. I really just wanted to show y'all this.
Daddy, you've grown into a beautiful young woman.
Yeah, thanks. Let's keep that on the down low.
But how did...
Trapped in a man's body.
But you was...
I'm a lesbian.
Yeah, but still, I mean...
On Oprah.
Yeah, but the,
Plastic, novelty, vagina.
This lore is 18 years old, and I didn't know anything about it until 10 minutes ago. Niggas can at me every fucking day talking about the chipmunks going on sale as if I don't got fucking $10 in my bank account. But 18 years don't pass, and nobody told me I was misgendering Frylock this whole time. I see how it is.
Yes, Frylock, I am your mother. And I am a 9-layer bean burrito.
Oh. Well, that's neat.
Done.
Watching this movie made me realize only 2 movies in this video do the whole theatrical version of the theme song thing, which is normally a real treat with these kind of movies. I do really like this one though. The theatrical version of the Aqua Teen theme song goes so fucking silly. I don't care how many times I've heard it. Alright, that's enough of that. Rent due next week. I usually hate this kind of critique when it comes to movies like this, but this is not beating those long episode allegations. Definitely not in terms of animation. Aside from a few random moments here and there where it looks like they created some new assets, this thing looks identical to the cartoon. But I mean, if you were ever gonna do that, Aqua Teen is probably the show for it. It's animated in such a cheap yet specific way that when it came back a few years ago and like it was like actually animated, the shit like confused everybody. It's the only time I saw making something look better pissing everybody off. Sometimes this thing looks cool, sometimes it looks like it's being held together with duct tape. It really just depends on when you decide to look up from your phone. Meatwad keeps doing this fist thing that looks like somebody drew it on MS Paint. Look at this fight scene, bruh. Don't ever act like you can't make your own cartoons in the house. This shit look like a Pivot animation. It doesn't. I just wanted to bring up Pivot. I'm not even one to point out animation errors, but like 9 minutes into the movie, seeing the top of Lincoln's hat just like cut off tells me everything I needed to know about how this movie was made.
Oh great, you just had to shoot, didn't you? Way to change the future. What do you mean?
Pull, Whitey, pull!
Happy Black History Month, y'all. There's a couple references throughout this thing to other Adult Swim, Cartoon Network media. The sickest one is, without a doubt, when Meatwad launches those missiles.
We have a
missile. I am smelling a missile. Nah, there's no way.
Greetings, I'm...
Oh no! Space Ghost!
No, Space Ghost.
Space Ghost was watching 12 Ounce Mouse. Meatwad was watching that Perfect Hair Forever show. This must be what it feels like for y'all when one of my friends shows up in these videos.
Wait. Go back to the other part. Where you were saying you were a woman?
Aqua Teen Hunger Force: movie film for theaters is for exactly who it's for. This gotta be what Tupac meant when he dropped Strictly for My Niggas, because golly, if you have never seen a single episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force before, I cannot stress this enough. Do not watch this shit. You will be lost, confused, bored. I just cannot see this being entertaining for somebody that didn't grow up around this show's peak popularity. I know I had a lot of fun with it and laughed a bunch, but that's from 25 years of knowing exactly what Aqua Teen is and being able to walk in knowing exactly what to expect and how much of it. But if you love these characters, you know them, and you find their banter funny, you'll probably have a good time, dude. I can't really think of any reason why you wouldn't. Aside from maybe like, I don't know, being sober.
It's the end of the movie and it's getting late. I know that you didn't come here with a date. You'll probably go home and masturbate.
Yeah, how the fuck you know this? How? Hold on, bro. How?
Did he say the S word?
Did you just say the Q word?
Did you just say the F word?
It's not just another day in the park. South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut.
Good job, fat boy. I said it.
Rated R. Now playing only in theaters.
1999's South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. Originally titled South Park All Hell Breaks Loose, but they decided to name it after a dick instead. I guess in a wreck one because, you know, bigger. My man Johnny Tuchellos did a video not too long ago on the production of this movie and what it took to put it together. I really suggest watching that if you like videos that are better than this one. Stan, Kyle, Kenny, and Cartman pull up to see the Terrence and Phillip movie, a musical theatrical adaptation of their favorite show, and they start to imitate all of the foul language that they hear in it. Like fuck, or shit, or like uncle fucker.
Uncle Fucker. You're a bunny-biting bastard, Uncle Fucker. I told you that we won't stop. I told you that we won't stop.
Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get!
Kenny dies imitating something that the kids saw in the movie. Kyle's mom, Sheila, crashes the fuck out over this. She goes from getting shirts with the characters on them banned from school to starting arguments on the news. Next thing you know, there is a full-blown war over a Canadian movie where they say the word fuck.
I mean war, man. Wow. War. You know? Wow.
All the best lines in this thing come from the section where they're getting ready for the war. This shit is jokes.
Oh boy, I can't wait for our first shore leave so I can get me some fucking poontang.
Yes, soldier.
Have you ever heard of the Emancipation Proclamation?
I don't listen to hip-hop. Oh, what's wrong with this thing? It's fucking Windows 98. Get Bill Gates in here. You told us Windows 98 would be faster and more efficient with better access to the internet.
It is faster. Over 5 million.
Hey, so like quick story. I've written every single one of these videos on a default Windows app called WordPad. It's basically like Microsoft Word in like the simplest form for people who weren't bougie enough to pay for Microsoft Word or clever enough to just steal it. But in the middle of making this video, I updated my computer and apparently after all these years, they just decided to fucking delete it. So, while I'm not saying I condone this, I am saying I understand it.
Did you bring the mirror? Got it. And the rope? Check. And the butt for? What's a butt for? For pooping, silly.
Ha, I love this little nigga. That's true, bro. I never thought of it like that. I always kind of saw this movie as like a prequel to the cartoon. In the pilot, they very clearly know how to curse. They're like calling each other's dildo and shit. But here, them seeing asses of fire is portrayed as them being introduced to this kind of language at the same time. And the resolution of this being that Cartman's cursing essentially saves the world provides decent enough context for why you don't hear too many adults in the cartoon telling them to wash their mouths.
See, Mom?
After all that, it was Cartman's filthy fucking mouth that saved us all.
Shit, I wish I would talk to my mother like that, nigga. I'll be recording this shit from the ICU. This movie is a more traditional musical than something like the Bob's Burgers movie. The music is honestly the most iconic part of this thing. You can really tell just how much they focused on this film's structure and how every song is major to the beats in the story. The first song, Mountain Town, covers so much ground. Kenny's mom tells him that he's going to die and go to hell for skipping church to see the movie, which literally happens. In this big optimistic song, Sheila is the only one with an inherently negative verse about how kids need to be protected from the rest of this dangerous world. Even something as simple as her yelling at Kyle to do what she says, it all helps paint the picture of the kind of person that she's going to be for the rest of this movie. A bitch. There's even a damn song about how big of a bitch Kyle's mom is. I didn't just freestyle a bar where I called her that. Near the end of this one, Cartman goes through all these different countries singing the song in different languages that I'm pretty sure are just nonsense noises. Me and the homies saw this in the movies last year on a re-release. The theater we were in was so scared to laugh at blackface Cartman. You fucking cowards. You paid to see South Park, not Bluey, nigga. If you don't bust a gut, happy Black History Month, yo. All of the songs crank. I don't think there's a single miss or a single one that I don't know by heart. Up there, La Resistance, What Would Brian Boitano Do? The roster is as strong as a damn ox. This part of Blame Canada, though, the song that the moms sing, always stood out to me.
Should we blame the matches? Should we blame the fire? Or the doctors who allowed it to expire? Heck no!
Like, yes, nigga, blame the doctors. Fuck. Why did he not take the fucking potato out the microwave? I've never understood that.
Damn it! It never gets any easier!
Don't blame me for my son Stan. He saw the darn cartoon and now he's off to join the clan.
The clan? Nigga was watching Mr. Bertram. I brought her up a second ago, but Sheila's priorities are way off. This is one of the craziest crash outs ever documented. This was clear pretty much for the whole movie, but she loses the plot so much in this, it's like Hall of Fame levels.
Horrific, deplorable violence is okay, as long as people don't say any naughty words. That is what this war is all about. What?
How is this war supposed to be about the safety of children, yet you blick your son's favorite TV stars directly in front of him? This is like if my mom caught me saying fuck, so she shot Keenan and Kel. Hang on. It's okay. False alarm. It's just Cousin Skeeter. Fuck, that's a lot of blood though. Is this nigga not a puppet? The hypocrisy of the adults is on full display throughout this thing. None of them are perfect.
What the heck is a rim job?
Oh, why, that's when you put your legs behind your head and have someone lick your ass.
Hey, anybody got Cartman mama number by any chance? I don't want nothing. I just want to ask her a few questions. You can just smell the meta text on this thing from a mile away. Shows like South Park got blamed so much back in the 90s for their effects on children, despite not being made for children and not even airing on channels that children should be watching on their own. While kids are very likely to imitate something that they see on television in a cartoon that they like, it starts at home. My grandfather always taught me not to imitate everything I heard Peter Griffin say. I mean, I do that now, but that's because I'm almost 30. That's the point the South Park movie is actively trying to make. Blaming outside forces like a fucking cartoon does not fix whatever issues you got going on in your house. It all starts with actual communication.
You go off and blame everybody else, but I'm the one to blame. Deal with me. You keep going off and fighting all these causes, but I don't want a fighter. I want my mom.
Oh, the poor little fella.
When Stan asks his chef how to get a woman to like him, he lets it slip that you gotta find the clitoris. And he just spends the whole movie running around trying to figure this shit out without even knowing what it means.
Any questions?
Shelly, where's the clitoris?
You think it doesn't really go anywhere because, like, how could it? Legally? But then this happens.
Oh my God! Behold my glory!
What are you?
I am the clitoris.
Whoa. Am I like allowed to show this? Advertisers, act like you don't see this. Satan and Saddam Hussein are both major characters in this thing. It's a sentence that I'm sure just gave you whiplash if you've never seen this movie before. It's like this mentally abusive relationship where Saddam is taking advantage of Satan, only using him for like sex and his status. Golly, this shit turned into a hell of a boss real quick. This is part where Satan is trying to talk to Saddam about their relationship issues, and he's reading this book, but I never noticed that the title says Saddam is from Mars, Satan is from Venus. Who the fuck wrote this book? I think one of the more interesting takeaways from a movie like this are the pros and cons of producing a movie based on a cartoon at the start of that cartoon's life rather than like the middle or the end. Stuff like Bob, Simpsons, even Aqua have had like literal years to figure these cartoons out. Years to round out that cast, create like a streamlined list of do's and don'ts when animating these characters. And because of it, the movies feel like a celebration of all of those years. But South Park has changed so much in 25, 26 years, it's damn near a different cartoon now. If they were to do it today, characters like Randy or Butters would have way bigger, more important roles instead of just background characters with offhanded lines. But it's also fucked up to think about how if they did this today, we just have a South Park movie that doesn't have a character like Chef in it. The way the characters talk to each other, the animation, even the performances from Matt and Trey, literally every single thing about this would be different. But it's funny because no matter what South Park turned into and how much I love what it became, I don't think I'd change a single frame of this thing.
I farted once on the set of Blue Lagoon.
It's really funny saying this about something that looks the way this does, but this really does feel like the biggest in scale compared to almost everything else in this video. The stakes are really high. Unlike something like Aqua Teen, they really prioritize making you feel those really big moments. The drama is interesting. They still make you feel emotionally for characters like Stan and Kyle. The only expendable character is dead and is treated like a real thing, so it does a really good job of building that suspense. It really makes you fear for everyone's lives. Now in terms of the animation, this is a special case because this movie was only made in the middle of season 2 when they were still trying to figure that style out. So comparatively, if you were looking at episodes from around that time, I definitely say that this is a much more bigger, more cinematic version of that. But man, South Park has gotten to the point to where it turned into this really beautiful, surprisingly detailed looking cartoon. There's definitely a charm to this older, flatter style for this show. This animation is still simple enough to where it gives you that feeling of this looks like a really fucked up old Christmas special or something. Way different than what the show is going for today. A good comparison for how much the show evolved is by looking at this one clip of Stan throwing up on Wendy in this movie.
Hi, Stan. Gross.
Now look at it at the end of season 11's Delight. Couldn't even finish saying the episode title, golly. But even then, that episode is 15 years old now. This is a show where you can clearly see the difference between all eras, visual or not. And I think that's cool as shit. Now, there's some nudity in this thing, so I'm gonna have to censor everything with my face if I want to make enough money for rent this month. And I do.
Saddam, I'm trying to have a nice conversation with you.
Everything is super. Open up your eyes. What are these?
If I keep going on and on about South Park bigger, longer, and uncut, some dumbass TikTok using 19-year-old might comment telling me that I'm glazing like I won't beat the fuck out of him. It's another one of those that I've lived with for what feels like my entire life. I've seen it from every angle, and somehow every time I throw it on, I have just as much fun as if it was my first time watching it. It's big, it's funny, it's fucking iconic, it's just unforgettable. If they ever make another one of these, I'll be there day one, but I do not envy them because this is a tough act to follow.
This ain't televised, they telling lies, but promise I won't.
This is the worst day of my life.
Worst day of your life so far.
This is about freedom of speech, about censorship.
Ain't you them kids that have been quacking off in my tool shed?
Truth is, Meatwad, I don't know where we came from, but I do know how we're gonna die.
Happy, hopeful, kissy lips.
Please.
I'm gonna do for you what you do for me.
I didn't mean it. You're not a Jew. Yes, I am. Best kiss of my life.
Best kiss of your life so far.
in my ass.